film from 2015 titled The Lobster. The film is set in a dystopian future, where single people are taken to a hotel, where they will spend the next 45 days finding a romantic partner. But if they fail to find anyone before the deadline, then? To know what happens next, watch till the end. I hope you'll find an amazing story. At the beginning of the film, we see a woman driving down the road. She stops at an open field, gets out of her car, and shoots a donkey. He is brought to a hotel, where he checks himself in. His dog, Bob, is also with him, who once used to be his brother, but was transformed for not having any partner. The hotel staff informs him that he will be staying at the hotel for 45 days to find a partner. After a short interview, he is taken to his room. Sometime later, the hotel manager and her partner comes to his room. They tell him that if he doesn't find a partner within 45 days, he will be transformed into an animal. She asks him what kind of animal he wants to become. David replies that he wants to become a lobster because they can live for 100 years and stay fertile all their lives. The manager is happy with his choice, as many people choose to become dogs, which is why the world is full of dogs. Before leaving, the hotel's maid cuffs David's right hand to keep him from massaging his weenie, which is against the hotel's rules. The next morning, David joins others for breakfast. There he meets Robert, a man with a lisp, and John, a man with a limp. Later, all the singles are called up to speak about their unique traits and attributes. As per the rules, all the singles must find a partner with whom they share common attributes such as minor ailments, as such couples are believed to be more compatible. David doesn't waste any time and approaches a woman with a nosebleed problem to dance with him. Robert and John also begin their search for a partner. After the party, all the singles are taken to hunt down the loners who live in the forest. Residents can extend their deadline by hunting the loners living in the forest. Each loner they capture earns them a day. They can hunt the loners by shooting them with tranquilizers, after which they are brought back to the hotel to be transformed into animals. By the end of the day, everyone managed to catch at least one loner, except for David, who didn't catch any loner. The hotel has many rules and rituals, through which they help the singles understand how important it is to find a partner. It is mandatory for every single living in the hotel to get aroused by the hotel maid so that they remain interested in finding a partner quickly. One day, Robert gets caught massaging his weenie. Since the act is banned in the hotel manager punishes him by burning his hand in a toaster. On one hunt, a woman with a fondness for biscuits tries talking to David, but he isn't interested in her. So she offers sexual favors to David, but he still isn't interested. So the woman tells David that if she doesn't find a partner soon, she will commit suicide by jumping off her hotel window. John sets his eye on the nosebleed girl and tries talking to her, but she doesn't seem interested in him. So to win her affection, he purposely smashes his nose in secret and tells her that it happens to him all the time. Soon they get in a relationship and are announced as a couple. They will be shifted to the couple's room, where they will begin their 1-month-long trial partnership. Time passes by and David has only 7 days left, after which he will be transformed into an animal. One of the single women at the hotel is out of time and couldn't find a partner before her deadline. So the hotel manager transforms her into a horse, after which she is taken into the woods. Later that day, the biscuit-loving woman jumps out of her window to commit suicide. As she cries out in pain, a cruel woman watches her and doesn't even bother to help her. Since David is running out of time, he decides to court the cruel woman, who holds the record of tranquilizing many loners than anyone else. So he approaches her and pretends to be enjoying the biscuit-loving woman's suffering. But since they cannot hear each other clearly because of the cries, they decide to talk later. Later, David joins the cruel woman in a jacuzzi. She suddenly starts choking and has trouble breathing, but David doesn't do anything to help her. It turns out that she was just pretending to die and was testing David whether he would help or not. She tells David that they are a match, and the two are soon shifted to the couple suite. But one morning, the cruel woman wakes up David and tells him that she has killed her brother by kicking him to death. David suppresses his emotions and tells her that it doesn't matter. But after seeing his dead brother's body, he cannot hold his emotions anymore and ends up crying. The cruel woman catches him crying and concludes that their relationship is a lie. As she takes David to the hotel manager for punishment, David kicks her and manages to escape. With the help of the maid, he tranquilizes the cruel woman. The maid then tells him to shoot her as well so that no one suspects her. He then drags the cruel woman to the transformation room and transforms her into an animal. Afterwards, David escapes from the hotel and runs into the woods. There he meets the leader of the loners, who welcome him into the group. She warns him not to have any kind of romantic or sexual relationship with anyone. He can't even flirt with anyone, or else he will be punished. Unlike the hotel manager, the leader of the loners doesn't want anyone to get in a relationship. One of the loner women, who is also short-sighted like David, looks at him and feels an instant attraction to him. On one hunt, Robert catches David hiding in the woods. David tries to manipulate him by saying that he was and is his best friend. As he keeps Robert engaged in a conversation, the loner woman sneaks up from behind and attacks Robert. Meanwhile, the maid of the hotel meets the loner leader. It turns out that the maid has been working for her for some time and meets her during the hunt to inform her about the situation at the hotel. The hotel maid wants to leave the hotel and live with the loner group. The loner leader tells her that this will be her last mission, as they are going to attack the hotel soon. At the end of every month, the loner leader takes some loners from the group, who pretend to be husband and wife. David and the loner woman joins her in the covert mission and go up to a nearby city. Once they return to the woods, David starts spending more time with the loner woman. They both feel an attraction to each other and eventually begin a secret relationship. Later that day, the loner leader informs her group that they are going to attack the hotel at night and briefs them about their role. Later that night, they manage to sneak inside the girl with the maid's help. David goes to the yacht, where John and the nosebleed woman are currently staying. He reveals to her that John fakes his nosebleed by hitting his nose against the wall or a hard surface, and tells them that they are not suited for each other. Meanwhile, the loner leader goes to the hotel manager's room and holds the couple hostage. The loner leader asks the husband to shoot his wife if he wants to live, which he reluctantly accepts. But it turns out that the gun is not loaded and the loner leader just wanted to show the couple that they don't love each other. Later that night, the maid joins the loner group and celebrates with them for their victory. As days pass by, David and the loner women grow closer. They even develop a secret gestural language to communicate with each other when they are with the other loners. But they soon realize that they can't stay any longer with the group. So they decide to run away and stay together forever in the city. But before they could escape, the loner leader finds a journal near the river, where the loner woman has written everything about her affair with David. The loner leader is furious by the betrayal, but she doesn't confront them. Instead, one day, she takes the loner woman to the city, saying that she wants to cure her short-sightedness, but instead, she has her blinded. When they return to the woods, the loner woman realizes that she has been blinded. So she tries to kill the loner leader but ends up killing the maid. The loner leader then decides to spare the loner woman, believing that David will leave her after learning that they don't have any common attributes anymore. The loner woman doesn't tell David about her situation and pretends that she isn't blind. But she couldn't lie to him anymore and reveals her blindness. She feared that if David had learned about her blindness, he would have left her. But David doesn't want to leave her and decides to stay with her. They then begin searching for any similar attributes that they might have in common but fail to find any. But since David doesn't want to leave her, he suggests that they should kill the loner leader and run away to the city, just like they originally planned. One evening, David knocks the loner leader unconscious, ties her hands and legs, and then throw her into an open grave. Sometime later, some wild dogs come there and eat her alive. After that, David and the loner woman escape from the woods and walk all the way to the city. They stop at a restaurant, where David asks the waiter to give him a steak knife. He then goes to the restroom, where he hesitantly prepares to blind himself with the steak knife, so that they have matching attributes. The film ends here and it is unclear whether David really blinded himself for the loner woman, or he left her alone sitting at the restaurant.